Good evening, everybody. To our new fans, welcome. To our old friends, welcome back inside the USC Aiken Convocation Center. Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader as we open up Peach Belt Conference play with the USC Aiken Pacers hosting the USC Beaufort Sand Sharks. Alongside Jordan Phillips, I'm Noah Adcock-Howeth. You talked about it a lot off camera, partner. These are two teams that play each other very physically. They play very similar, and it always seems to be a good game when they go toe-to-toe.
Yeah, these two in-state schools know each other fairly well. You know, USC Beaufort in their third year with the basketball program, and ever since coming onto the scene, they have made an impression. They are well coached by head coach Ron Fudala. And this team, again, like we mentioned, these two teams play very similar to one another. You know, they play a lot of the same sets. You're going to see a lot of three-guard lineups, a lot of run, a lot of gun. You're going to see these guys try to go fast and physical. And both these two teams looking to get their conference slate started off on the right foot.
Mark Vanderslice in his 11th year at the helm for the Pacers. They're coming off an 84-80 heartbreaker loss against Fayetteville State here on Saturday evening. Pacers will make one change to their starting lineup as Will Vassar Jr. gets his first start of the season. He will replace Brock Cherry. The other four, Trey White, Caleb Bird, who had a career-high 26 last time out in the loss, Jonah Lawrence, and the big freshman Jackson Roberts in the middle. Ron Fudala has had this team firing. Very rarely does a program in year 2 of existence make its way to the conference tournament, but that's what the Sand Sharks did last year before falling to these very same Pacers. They've dropped 4 of 5 against Aiken in the last 2 years, and Fudala at 6-1 with a big 30-point win over former D3 Ferrum their last time out. Will bring themselves to Aiken, looking to open up Peach Belt play with a win. They also make one change to their starting lineup. Seth Cullen returns to the starting 5. He will replace Nolan Paladugu. The other 4, Dylan Lewis, Evan Kilminster, who had the game-winning go-ahead buzzer beater in the win against UNC Pembroke a week ago, alongside Dominic Eason and the senior Kevon Price. A lot of transfers on both sides, a lot of speed on both sides. And with the Sand Sharks especially, they want to run up that score. You mentioned run and gun, you mentioned fast and physical, but they can turn it into an avalanche if you let them get a full speed.
Yeah, these guys triple digits 3 times already this season, once in game 1, game 2, and then their most recent contest against Ferrum. Again, these guys like to score a lot. They like to shoot a lot. And both of these teams are looking to get their offenses started out hot here in conference play. They want to make themselves known. They want to make their opponent feel them down low as well. They like to do a lot of pressing. They like to do a lot of attacking at the rim as well as the outside. So it's going to be interesting to see which one of these two teams, both predicted to finish top 3 in the Peach Belt, get themselves off to the start the right way here.
We are off and running. Pacers started with possession. Caleb Bird a little too strong on the initial layup attempt. Beaufort in the Navy on Navy. Pacers in white on white. Seth Cullen was all alone in the corner. He put up an air ball, but good offensive rebounding from Kevon Price, the Havoc-style senior, gets the opening bucket 20 seconds in.
And that was something we saw the Pacers struggle with against Fayetteville State, sagging off in the corners, allowing too many open threes. It didn't hurt them there, but be interesting to see how they attack that moving forward.
Both teams take pride in their rebounding. Trey White can't get it to go. Pacers plus 11 on the rebound margin this season. Less of an edge for the Sand Sharks, but they out-rebounded the Ferrum Panthers 52-27 last game, and they've got an early 4-0 advantage, all courtesy of Kevon Price. Full court press was a bit of a problem on Saturday, and it appears to be a problem again. Bodies flying for the ball. Jonah Lawrence able to break it. Lawrence against Seth Cullen, the elder of the two Cullen brothers. There's the first 3, and there is Caleb Bird.
Bird doing what he does best, getting open and getting the shot off. He's shooting 38% this season from downtown. One of the hotter shooters for the Pacers, and he showed you why right there. He's leading this Pacers squad in points per game.
The whistle blew. Dominic Eason was down behind the play. That's a guy that the Sand Sharks cannot play without. He's reigning all-conference. He's averaging over 12 points a game, able to get up and move decently under his own power, but he will be replaced, at least for the moment, by Ish Rashid, the junior out of Mississippi.
Dominic Eason, the leading scorer for this Sand Sharks team, but don't be fooled. They're not a one-man show. They got 4 guys averaging in double figures here to start this season off.
When you've put up triple digits 3 times, you expect a lot of point totals. There's the steal, there's the pass, and there's Jonah Lawrence.
Caleb Bird turning defense to offense there, reading that passing lane beautifully to get that break started.
Outside shot for Ish Rashid is up and over the glass. It is a 5-4 score in a minute 45. And after a very brief rest, Dominic Eason is back. Scoreboard has 7 points on it for the Pacers, but it also has a 5-4 tally. That first layup did not go for Caleb Bird. They're trying to get things squared away at the moment. Meanwhile, it's Pacer basketball in the first couple minutes, and here's Will Vassar Jr. in his first start at the D2 level. Kicks outside to the freshman phenom Lawrence, and he hits the mid-range.
Jonah Lawrence, a staple in this starting lineup here for head coach Mark Vanderslice, and he's showing you why right there. Nice, easy finish for that little elbow jumper.
Pump fake from Cullen. He brought the center out. A lot of good in and out ball movement for the Sand Sharks early. That was poked off of Beaufort, and it's another Sharks turnover.
Active hands here on defense to start. Vassar Jr. there getting the turnover. Great job there to get his hands in the pass into the dribble path there and create that turnover.
Couple moves for the USC Beaufort Sand Sharks. It's nearly a full line change. Aiden Fitzgerald, Ish Rashid, along with Hudson Norton coming in. And it looks like Shea Champagne, or rather Lucas Platauna, came in as well. There's the press. It works exactly how the Beaufort Sand Sharks wanted it to go, and they get an easy bucket off the turnover.
And again, as you mentioned, this was something that the Pacers struggled mightily with in that game against Fayetteville State, especially in the second half of that game. They had figured it out pretty much going into the first, but that second half was rough. We'll see how they respond to it here in this game.
Back-to-back turnovers from Trey White. Pacers looking to avoid ceding the lead, but that's exactly what they do. Aiden Fitzgerald rolls it in. It is an 8-7 ball game, and White continues to struggle with the press. Bird thought about it, thought better, got his defender in the air, but left it short. Couple empty possessions in a row for the Pacers, giving Beaufort some life. Rashid for 3, yes. Best three-point shooter on the team, one of the best in the conference.
This Beaufort offense is heating up. The Pacers are struggling to get it across half court.
Lawrence answers with a triple of his own.
He's got 7 of the Pacers' 10 here, and he's showing you exactly why he's in that starting lineup.
Give and go brings Fitzgerald alone outside. He is not going to miss that one. Junior out of Perth, Australia, makes it a 4-point lead. Both sides trading triples at the moment. As Lawrence assists White in breaking the press, there is nobody in the corner for Vassar, but he can't connect. Fighting for the offensive board, there's Bird. Lob, and Jackson Roberts was not ready for it. He had the inside spot. Jonah Lawrence could not find him. Much needed media timeout, 4 minutes and 3 seconds in. A fast-paced first couple frames, 14-10, Beaufort in front. 14-10 your score as we get rolling on the Peach Belt Sports Network. Pacers trailing by 4, a handful of empty possessions in a row, and a bunch of changes for Mark Vanderslice out of the timeout. It'll be Evan Kilminster down low. He feeds through traffic, and it's laid in by Aiden Fitzgerald.
Pacers don't want to let this Sand Shark offense get hot. They put up points in bunches.
DeAndre Smart, Cam Perkins, Brock Cherry, and Josiah Harding are the new 4 for Aiken. The only holdover will be Vassar, it looks like. Or beg your pardon, Lawrence. Here is Jonah Lawrence. Kicks into the corner for Brock Cherry, who had started the last couple games. Shot clock down to 4. Perkins kicks out to Lawrence. As time expires, it's good.
Took him a while to get there, but that was a clean look for Lawrence, and he's up to 10 already.
Very easy, very early 10. Corner 3, no good. Put back too strong from Rashid. He's been flying all over the glass. Smart finds Harding. Pacers out and running. Brock Cherry rolls it in.
Beautiful, beautiful transition basketball there from the Pacers. 2 passes and a bucket. Nice job there.
Brock Cherry, 6 games, 4 starts. He's contributed in whatever role he has been needed in his freshman campaign. Sharks with great ball movement and a lot of threes. There's Platowna in and out, and Cherry is tossed to the ground by Fitzgerald, who's called for the personal. That's the first foul of the game after 5.5.
Yeah, Cherry doing a good job there. He had good positioning, was good on the box out, and drew that foul for the Pacers.
Couple moves for USC Beaufort. Kevon Price, Dominic Eason, Dylan Lewis, Seth Cullen all in for the Sand Sharks. Just one change for Aiken. McCaskill Rivers replaces Jonah Lawrence. And the pass overthrown again. The press gets to the Pacers. Harding couldn't connect with Cam Perkins. And that's Aiken's 4th turnover of the ball game. Uncharacteristic for a Mark Vanderslice coach squad. This is not a team that gives possessions up frequently. Back with that starting 5, Cullen able to hand it off to Dominic Eason. Had the injury scare at the beginning of the contest. Shot clock is down to 2. Have to get something up, and it was denied. Price rejected at the rim. Wide open, Harding, no.
Bit of a mistake on that one. Early shot clock 3, wide open. So the defense made a little bit of an error there, but Pacers couldn't take advantage.
Great pass, and an extra pass proved to be too much. It looked as though Seth Cullen had an unopposed shot at the cup. Instead, he tried to go outside to Dylan Lewis, and he fired it into the Aiken bench. Beaufort by a point, 16-15. Sharks swarming and circling, but it will be Perkins to get across the timeline. He gets it to McCaskill Rivers. There's 2 defenders on the floor, and Josiah Harding, with nobody in the same area code, could not hit.
It's been a struggle for him. That's back-to-back wide open threes he missed, but doing a great job there drawing the charge and getting the ball back for the Pacers.
Harding has struggled from deep all season. He struggled from the field as of late, but he finds a way to contribute. Picks up the charge, and that will be a quick change. Kilminster with the foul, and he is replaced by Hudson Norton.
Yeah, Harding just 4 of 23 so far from 3 this season. Pacers will need him to heat up a little bit here.
Perkins and Harding work to break. Skip pass gets there for Brock Cherry. Ron Fudella right in the ear of the referee. The Sand Sharks head man desperately wanted to travel. He didn't get it. It's been a fast-paced first 7 here at the Convocation Center. Sharks by a point. DeAndre Smart down low, lays it in.
The big man putting his shoulder into somebody and getting to the block. Great job there by Smart for the easy deuce.
He started to come alive as he gets comfortable at the D2 level. Extra pass, laid in, and Dominic Eason makes it look oh so easy.
That was a good finish there for Easton. The Pacers had it well scouted, well defended, but couldn't do anything once he got down low.
McCaskill Rivers gets downhill, and there are few like him when that happens.
Yeah, Rivers a prolific scorer at his last stop. He's been shooting the ball well as well, but just knifing his way to the cup there for the finish.
Cullen in and out. Good fight for the board between Harding and Norton. It goes the way of Aiken. Perkins gets the pass off the ground and leaves the three short. Had to go down to get the low toss. Sharks in transition. Seth Cullen slows it down. Eason for three. Yes.
And just like we expected when we first started this contest, this broadcast, partner, a back and forth heavyweight fight here between these two teams, predicted to finish at the top of the Peach Belt Conference.
Sharks were ready to make a move. Instead, we'll make immediate timeout. Beaufort by a pair. Both sides getting the offense rolling early. A rematch of the Peach Belt Conference Final from 2025 to kick off the 25-26 conference slate. As is often the case here in the Peach Belt, a women's and men's doubleheader Wednesdays and Saturday nights will be booked from now until the beginning of March. If you were with us in the opener, you saw USC Beaufort use a 23-6 run in the fourth quarter to knock off USC Aiken in the women's game. Out of the timeout, Trey White back on, missed the three. Offensive board for Aiken gives the Pacers a second chance.
Yeah, Trey White going to slow things down here. Pacers a little bit fast and furious out of that timeout.
Quick hands directed off the referee and stayed in play. White misses short, and it is saved by Jonah Lawrence. Trey White cutting in, kicks to the corner, open three. No good again. Aiken can't find it from deep. Hudson Norton streaking through the double team and lays it in through transition.
Yeah, multiple chances there for the Pacers. Had good looks, just couldn't quite get the shots to fall. But they're going to keep taking them.
Jonah Lawrence seemingly the only man to have a touch from outside. Bird into the three. Now he's got one himself.
Bird up to 6.
Fitzgerald to answer no. Both sides raining down threes, make or miss. Meanwhile, Bird and Lawrence have combined for 16 of the team's 22, and there is a reach-in foul on Seth Cullen, the junior. Evan Kilminster, Lucas Platauna in for the boys in Navy. That will replace Eason and Cullen the elder. There are two Cullen brothers on this roster. Cullen Sr. is Seth, and then the freshman Zach, who we have not seen yet. Cut down low. They lost White, and he couldn't finish.
Tough break there for Trey White. Had a wide open shot at the basket. Made it look pretty, but couldn't get the finish.
White's now 0 for 4 from the field. 3, gets back out. Beaufort gets a second chance. That was a walk-in 3 from Kilminster, and he couldn't finish. And a foul down low. Both sides are struggling from deep. 3 of 11 and 4 of 11, respectively.
Bird urging his teammates to secure those rebounds when they come down. Vocal leadership from the senior Bird.
Norton replaced by Kevon Price. All 4 fouls in this game have gone against USC Beaufort. It has been physical, though, both ways. Pacers looking to reclaim the lead. There's Jackson Roberts. Hands off to Lawrence, who's got 10 already. Lawrence working in tandem with Bird. That's been the dynamic duo. Jonah spins from the elbow. A little bit long. Roberts couldn't secure it.
Nice move there from Lawrence. Had a good shot, just couldn't quite get it to fall.
Pump fake, Fitzgerald open 3. Offensive rebound for Beaufort. Outside, Rashid. No. Open looks for both teams. They're just not falling for either side.
A bit of a cold spell for both offenses right here. In a close game, it's going to matter which one catches fire first.
Aikens 1 for their last 7. All of them have been from outside. Beaufort scoreless for the last 2 minutes and change. There's Roberts. He's down low, and he's got his first bucket.
Pacers finally able to work it inside, and Jackson Roberts pays it off, gets the nice easy finish off the glass.
Got the feed from Trey White, and then White picks the pocket of Fitzgerald. Roberts is on the floor. Roberts is flopping around like a fish on a hook. And the whistle is blown for a jump ball. Possession arrow is not lit up, but on the, at least on the big scoreboard. On the table, though, it appears to favor Beaufort.
A great effort there by Jackson Roberts. Had to get down on the floor to get that ball. Just unfortunately couldn't quite find a way to get the pass out.
You like the hustle, and you see it from both of these teams in spades. That's the calling card for Ron Fudella and Mark Vanderslice alike. Long pass, what a leap by Rashid, the 6'5 frame, and he needed every inch of it to keep that in bounds. Off the screen, Fitzgerald, he connects.
And got it over the hand of big Jackson Roberts, and he just barely did that.
Ends a 2.5-minute drought. White was hit with the body of Dominic Eason. Not enough to warrant a whistle.
Yeah, this press giving the Pacers all kind of trouble in the backcourt. They haven't quite gotten trapped by it just yet, but it's coming close.
Will Vassar to Lawrence and then Trey White. White's got the bigger defender on him and Kevon Price. Here's Bird from way downtown, no. Roberts tips it back though, and Lawrence keeps it afloat. Bird outside, yes.
Steps in a couple inches and knocks down the 3 and retakes the lead for the Pacers.
Caleb Bird, the second-year Pacer after a couple years at Newberry. Aiken back in front. Fitzgerald retaliates and regains the lead for the Sand Sharks.
Tough little step back with Jackson Roberts' hand in his face, and he nailed it.
Aiden Fitzgerald has already set his season high, and we have played less than 13 minutes. Fitzgerald has played just 7 of them, but he's 5 of 7 from the field.
And he's up to 13 now. Dangerous shooter from outside, and a foul there down in the corner.
White got bumped in front of the Sharks bench. Each side already has a man in double figures. Lawrence has 10, Fitzgerald has 13, and Beaufort leads Aiken at the 3rd straight media timeout. It's all good. It happens. Oh, it sure does. It sure does. Yeah. Better now than at the end of the game. Exactly. Very briskly played majority of the first half here at the Convocation Center. Noah Adcock out with Jordan Phillips with you. USC Aiken has been able to be home for 5 of their first 7 contests. They got back-to-back on the road next week, but running low on non-conference games at this point. Once the Peach Belt gets going, there's not much in terms of getting off the train.
Yeah, and the Pacers started out pretty well in the non-conference, a couple losses, but both of them to solid teams, a couple good wins in there as well over teams like UNC Pembroke, and looking to get their conference play started off really well here.
McCaskill Rivers down low, denied strongly by Dominic Eason. He read it all the way. Smart, Cherry, Harding, Rivers, and Perkins in a full line change for Aiken. And there is Cam Perkins with a takeaway. It's a 4-on-1. Perkins somehow got denied. He took it himself and then just tossed it skyward. A wasted chance for the Pacers. Keeps the Sand Sharks in front.
Yeah, Perkins with a little bit more responsibility this year. Just got to be a little bit smarter on those breaks. Got to pass it off to one of your teammates.
Eason wants to bring it out, guarded by the freshman Cherry, and floats it in.
Tough bucket there from Eason.
Eason was on the preseason all-conference team in the Peach Belt for a Sand Shark squad that was projected right at that top. Sharp got denied. He saves it, and it is kept alive for McCaskill Rivers.
That was a beautiful feed from Cam Perkins there to find Smart down low, but good recovery by the Sand Sharks to get the rejection.
Hudson Norton with a good block. It looks like the shot clock was not properly reset. So there's 25 with 6:16 to go in the first, and Beaufort leads Aiken 31-27 in a battle of the 2 most noteworthy satellite campuses in the South Carolina system. All due respect to Lancaster, Salkehatchie, and Sumter. Perkins against Price. Rivers with a hand in his face, little bit short, was right on target.
He's been good from downtown, shooting 42% coming into the night. That was an uncharacteristic miss from him right there.
Eason, the opposite way, he leaves it short. Rivers secures the board. Lots of transition offense in this ball game. Not much for set plays. Rivers launched that up. It was last touched by Beaufort. That was a lot of contact to go through for no whistle.
They're letting them play for sure. Neither team has shot a free throw yet with 5:37 left in this first half, and these are 2 teams that like to attack the basket, so they're definitely letting them go out there.
Eason's out. Lucas Platowna, the junior out of Pooler, Georgia, comes back in. Former Mercer Bear. Not only has there not been a free throw, the Pacers have not committed a foul yet. Mostly because as soon as Beaufort gets the ball, they're either taking or making a 3. Cam Perkins hands off to Cherry. Well guarded all the way around. Rivers with 4 on the shot clock. McCaskill steps in, got blocked, got fouled, and there's the first free throw.
And Pacers, a sigh of relief, finally feeling like they got a little bit of contact, and they'll shoot 2 here, the first 2 of the game. And that's 6 fouls now on USC Beaufort without a single one for the Pacers.
Can't imagine Ron Fudella is happy about that discrepancy. Rivers can't hit the first one. He has been a bit below average from the line this year, just 50%, and both teams will make moves. Caleb Bird comes back in, and for the first time today, we welcome in the senior Sedlet Delva, longest tenured member of the roster. Izzy Rashid in for Hudson Norton on the opposite side. Rivers 1 for 2, and it's a 1-possession game.
Chedlet Delva, a longtime member of this Pacers roster. He's a big rim protector, does a lot of good on the boards as well.
A lot of things that don't show up in the stat sheet either for Mark Vanderslice's squad. Kayvon Price with the face mask in tow will flip it on over to Dylan Lewis. Clock being bled dry here by Beaufort. Outside, Cullen from deep, no. And a foul is called. It is on Josiah Harding, you have to imagine. But instead it's Bird, although it was Harding who absolutely rolled over Ish Rashid, and now Rashid is slow to get up.
Yep. Yeah, Harding just flew in for that rebound, and not intentional or anything, just a lot of contact as they were both trying to get the ball.
Certainly no intention, but he is quickly ushered to the sideline with Dominic Eason brought back in, so they have both been injury replacements for the other. Skip pass to Cullen, one strong dribble and back outside. Eason for three, no. Little push off, but the taller defender Lewis gets it over Cam Perkins. Had a 6-inch height advantage. No good. Price gets his own rebound, and it's off of him.
And as you were talking about things that don't show up in the stat sheet from Chedlet Delva, doing a great job altering that shot to force the miss.
Tana Turner, the athletic trainer, continues to tend to Ish Rashid, the junior. He's being looked at on the side of the bench. Neither side able to get on the board in the last 90 seconds. Still a one-possession game, though. Here's Caleb Bird. Rivers bullies his way in, kicks into the corner, catch and shoot three. In and out. Delva fighting for the rebound, and it was last touched by Chedlet Delva.
And Harding's woes from the three-point line continue, now 0 for 3 on the night.
He's 0 for 3. The team's 5 of 15. Three-pointers have not been the forte of the Pacers as of late. They shot well in the loss against Fayetteville State. The free throws were the problem in that game, as was the inability to break the press. Another long one. And this one is a little bit too short from the trigger-happy Aiden Fitzgerald.
Bit of a cold snap here for both offenses, both teams needing a bucket.
See which side can deliver first. It's Cam Perkins, the sophomore. Rivers backing down Lewis. Got a little space, turned around, and lofted it. An air ball. Clock did not reset. Went right to Delva. Step back. Bird had it deflected. Shot clock still hasn't reset. Delva has to put it in, and he slams it home.
Little rim rattler there from Delva. He wanted a foul, won't get it, but a big flush from the big man.
That's what Delva can do. 6'10", 230. Price from deep. No. And Beaufort's gone cold. They're 25% from outside, 5 of 20. And have missed 4 of their last 5. Rivers with the lay-in. Pacers in front by 1.
And a gorgeous move, little stutter step there from McCaskill Rivers to get open and get that easy finish.
4 minutes without a bucket for Beaufort. 32-31, Aiken, 2.5 to go in the first. A wide open Eason cannot stop the cold streak. Bird in transition, lost it on the way up, and it was poked out of his hands. Pacers ball.
And I think something right there was a little similar to what Coach Vanderslice told us after the game. He said he didn't want to see his guys going up trying to draw contact versus trying to finish the shot, which I think was a little bit of what we saw right there from Bird.
Lots of conversation. James Williams, the volunteer assistant, was begging for a potential replay review, but we hit the media timeout for the final time in the first half. See what comes of that one in the final ticks of half number 1. As is par for the course with these doubleheaders, started about 20-25 minutes after the intended start time of 7:30. And both these offenses appear hell-bent on making up lost time.
Yeah, both these teams coming out fast and taking a lot of shots, both inside and outside. Neither one giving an inch on the other.
2:15 to go in the first. Aiken 32, Beaufort 31. Sand Sharks are 6-1 in their first 7 games. That starting out the conference slate. Perkins into the corner. Josiah Harding. Yes, sir.
And that's one he needed big time. He was 0 for 3 before that, up to 1 for 4 now, and it's a big one. He gives the Pacers their largest lead of the game.
4 points is the largest lead either team has had tonight. Lewis guarded by Cam Perkins. Beaufort scoreless stretch approaching 5 minutes now, and there is a foul. A rarity against the Pacers.
Yeah, just their second one here in this first half. They've been playing clean defense. At least that's what head coach Mark Vanderslice would tell you. The Sand Sharks might say something else, but
all in the eye of the beholder. Hudson Norton lost it, got it back, got it to Cullen. Cullen for 3, it's good. Former King University tornado Seth Cullen hits it back within a 1-point game.
We call that failing upwards there. Harding knocked that ball loose, just unfortunately right to Cullen, who was wide open for 3.
Cullen, much like Ish Rashid, is lights out from deep if you give him an inch. Perkins spins through, and he had a body all over him. It was the elder Cullen, and that will send Cam Perkins to the line for just the second time this season.
Slick move from Perkins there to create that space. Got his defender up in the air and got the easy contact.
Perkins is 0 for 1 from the stripe this year. This is an area he was very intent on improving upon. He was 57% as a freshman. And that's a good start right there. For the first time tonight, Caden Douglas, the sophomore from Oviedo, Florida, and the baseball powerhouse of Haggerty High School checks in. Perkins hits the second. 3-point game. And before Beaufort could push the pace, Trey White's coming in for Perkins. Kilminster, Cullen, and Rashid each have multiple fouls for Beaufort. Aiken has multiple fouls as a team. Lewis towards the cup, lost it, tried to get it back. He was out of bounds when he touched it, it looked like. And so it will be Aiken basketball.
Pacers looking to close out this half strong. These two teams have been right there with each other the whole way.
Douglas knocked it to White. White got it to Harding, or Lawrence rather, and Jonah dribbled it off his leg. Gives it back to Beaufort. That should be and will be a foul. Bit of a delayed whistle, but it still picks up the personal on Trey White.
A couple back-to-back mistakes there by White. He kind of got trapped by that press down low, made a little bit of an errant pass. Lawrence couldn't quite corral it, and then the foul there. Easy call for the ref.
44 on the game clock, 24 on the shot clock, and that was just thrown out of bounds.
I think White might have got a hand on it, might have knocked it out off the man in the corner there.
White was certainly all over the passing lane. They were trying to find Caden Douglas. Press will continue until morale improves. Douglas kicks it out of bounds. We'll try it again. And Mark Vanderslice not happy with what he saw out of Trey White on the roll after the screen. Beautiful little stutter step. Had Norton leaning the opposite direction from where White ended. The shifty junior gets the ball across the timeline. Pacers have found a bit of a rhythm offensively, but points still harder to come by in the second 10 minutes of this first half. 13 between shot and game clock. White accelerates. Bigger defender, can't get it to go. A lot of contact from Douglas. Pass was high pointed well by Eason. Everybody on the floor fighting for it. And jump ball is called before Eason got the timeout granted. He was trying to get the whistle, didn't get it, and it's Aiken basketball.
A nice defensive effort there. That pass got tipped a couple of times before it got to its intended target, and that's how the Pacers were able to get that ball on the floor and create the jump ball. Now they'll have 8.5 seconds after this 30-second timeout to try and get some points before we go to the half.
Looked like Cam Perkins was ready to come in. There were 6 guys on the court, so not sure who he's going to replace. But it is an opportunity for Mark Vanderslice, TJ Knight, and Isaiah Campbell to see what they can draw up, not just to break the press, but get one more look off.
And that press has, again, been a little bit of a struggle for them in these last 2 games. They definitely struggled with it against Fayetteville State. They've done a much better job navigating it here against the Sand Sharks, except for a couple of instances like that one we saw just a moment ago. But it'll be key for them to get across half court and get a shot up here with less than 10 seconds to go in this half.
Jonah Lawrence leading the Pacers with 10 points. Caleb Bird has 9 with 6 rebounds, but everybody on both teams looking up at Aiden Fitzgerald, former South Georgia Tech farmhand, who has a game-high 13. 8.5 in the first. It does get into Perkins. Perkins replaced Trey White. Looking to get one last shot up. Delva with the screen, Lawrence with the left, and he lays it in. That was Josiah Harding to beat the buzzer.
Nice finish there from Harding. Beautiful ball movement from the Pacers there. Created an open shot, got the finish at the rack, and go into the halftime with a 5-point lead.
After all the chaos and confusion, the Pacers will end with their largest lead of the first 20, 39-34, paced by Lawrence with 10 and Bird with 9. Fitzgerald's got 13, but the ice-cold shooting from 3, 6 of 22 for the Sand Sharks, and just 5 points in the final 5.5 minutes.
Yeah, the Pacer defense really did a good job there at the close of the half, forcing those threes, doing a good job cutting off the interior and making them take their shots from distance.
There were threes aplenty. We'll see which team can find the bottom of the cup when they switch sides and get rolling. Halftime at the Convocation Center. Peach Belt Conference play opening up on the Conference Sports Network. Welcome back inside the Convocation Center, ladies and gentlemen, on the campus of the University of South Carolina at Aiken. Two USC schools going toe-to-toe, and Aiken leads the Sand Sharks of Beaufort 39-34. Alongside Jordan Phillips, I'm Noah Adcock. Howarth, fast pace, a lot of threes, a lot of transition, not a lot of fouls in those first 20.
Everything we promised and more, partner. Now, as you mentioned, not a lot of free throws, just 4 from the Pacers, 3 for 4 at the line. Neither team really doing much fouling. 7 fouls for the Sand Sharks, just 3 for the Pacers. And it was a hotly contested offensive quarter, half. The Pacers coming out on the better side of it, mostly due to taking less threes. It was a 6 of 22 first half for the Sand Sharks, just 6 of 17 for the Pacers, and they've got a 5-point lead because of their better efficiency.
Hudson Norton is going to be in the initial 5 for USC Beaufort rather than Dominic Eason is out there, but there will be one change there. And so it is no Dylan Lewis, at least for the moment. Towards the cup, no good. Kevon Price was looking for a 2, but the big frame of Jackson Roberts got in the way. Trey White accelerates. He finds Jonah Lawrence. Lawrence had a team-high 10 in the first half. He'll find Caleb Bird. They're joined in cahoots with Will Vassar Jr. and the aforementioned Roberts for Mark Vanderslice. Lawrence pulls up. Mid-range was left short with 7 on the shot clock.
Yeah, as you mentioned, Lawrence with those 10 in the first half. He was red hot there at the start.
After 20 minutes and 49 seconds without a free throw, the Sand Sharks of Beaufort will get there first. There's Dominic Eason. Eason had a injury scare very early in the ball game, but missed just about 60 seconds. The man who replaced him, Ish Rashid, went down with a nose injury later in that first half. Eason is dynamite from the line, over 81%, and so naturally he hits the first one.
Yeah, the leading scorer for this Sand Sharks team coming into tonight, and they're going to need him to catch fire here as they try to take this lead back from the Pacers.
Do not see Dylan Lewis on the bench either. We were told that there is a Sand Sharks player sick in the locker room, and it would stand to reason that that would be Lewis, at least for the moment. Rashid is in game clothes and on the sideline on the bench, so that's seems as though he will be available. Good find down low. There's Jackson Roberts for the first points of the half.
Nice soft touch off the glass from the big man there. A good feed to get him an open look at the rim.
Jonah Lawrence with his 4th assist. Pass to the corner. There's Seth Cullen off the side of the glass. Very errant 3, but he got his own miss. That was wildly erratic from the junior, who has his pocket picked by Lawrence. There he goes. Finger roll.
Lawrence doing it all for the Pacers here, creating that turnover and getting the easy transition finish. Up to 12 now.
Largest lead of the night for either team. 43-35, an 8-point advantage for Aiken. There's Hudson Norton. He kicks across to Cullen. Cullen drives, looking for a man, shuffled both feet, but found Eason, and Eason can't hit. Both of these teams, a dearth of scoring from outside in the first. Vassar left it short. Will Vassar couldn't quite find that 3-point stroke. He's now 0 for 3 on the game, all from outside. Eason, meanwhile, lays in the 2.
Yeah, Vassar there tried to step into that 3 in transition, left it well short.
Pacers 6 of 18 from outside, 33%. Beaufort is 6 of 24. That's 25%, including 0 for 2 in the second half. Both these teams generally above average 3-point shooters. Bird off the step back. Eason in his face. It doesn't matter.
A little bit of hesitation there from Bird to allow him to get an easy shot over Eason's hand. Tough defense there, but a better finish.
And Bird was in no way opposed to letting Eason hear about it either. Dominic Eason gets the switch off the screen. He'll move away rather than stay with Trey White. Norton, catch and shoot. It's short. Nice behind the back move from Bird to create space as he continues to have Cullen reaching. Cullen's reach led to a wide open Lawrence. He couldn't quite get it to go. And it will be Sand Shark basketball.
And another wide open look there for the Pacers. And if they, could start cashing in a few more of these, this lead would be even larger. But again, good ball movement from USCA. They just haven't quite been able to knock down some of those open looks yet.
Aiden Fitzgerald, who has a team-high 13 off the bench, will check in. He replaces Seth Cullen. Sharks are 1 for 5 in their last 5 shots, and they are 1 for their last 10 from outside. Trey White just got called for a grab, and he is in disbelief.
As is head coach Mark Vanderslice. There's a little bit of contact there, but either way, White will sit down as a trio of subs come on for the Pacers.
White becomes the first Pacers player with multiple fouls. He's replaced by Cam Perkins. Brock Cherry, Josiah Harding in as well for Aiken. That sits down Vassar and Bird. 46-37, Aiken 4-2 on the year, 3-1 at home, looking to start off conference play with a W. Good effort from Norton, kept that ball alive, and Beaufort gets the rebound as a result. Here is Norton on the drive, too strong. He had no type of body control as he tried to split double coverage. The 6-1 Sand Sharks find themselves down by 9, 4 minutes into the second half. And this is a team, we talked about it a little bit in the open, talked about it a bit in the women's game as well. They're 6-1, their strength of schedule is not great, but you can only beat who's in front of you, and they have done so handedly. Shot clock down to 2, extra pass. Perkins has to put it up, left it short. Rebound right to Brock Cherry.
Yeah, fortunate bounce there for the Pacers. That last second heave was short, but the rebound going right to a Pacer.
Foul is called, can't get the and one to roll in. But that will be the first personal or first team foul on Beaufort. It's against Kilminster.
Looks like they're going to call it on the floor as well, and say it went off before the shot.
So no free throws inbound. Mark Vanderslice, you could see him mouth on the floor, his eyes about bugged out of his head, Looney Tunes style. But it will be Pacer basketball underneath. They were ready to bring in Rashid. We're ready for the media timeout here inside the Convocation Center. USC Aiken back to work out of the media timeout. It's Cam Perkins to inbound. Ish Rashid did check in for the first time this half. Good to see him after he took a body to the nose. Josiah Harding airballs the three, and boy, Harding just cannot catch a break from the field these days.
Yeah, his tough night from behind the line continues, up to 1 for 5 now from the three-point line, kind of reminiscent of his season. Pacers hoping he can catch fire here from behind the arc.
Long pass to Kayvon Price keeps the play alive for the Beaufort offense, and a foul is called from way behind the play by the long referee. Jackson Roberts picks up the foul. The Pacers now have more team fouls in the first 5 minutes of the second than they did in all 20 minutes of the first. First chance at the line is left short by Kayvon Price.
Sand Sharks also starting to attack the rim a little bit more, something they weren't really doing as much in that first half. Might be trying to draw a few more of these trips to the charity stripe.
Certainly one way to get back in the ball game, especially as the three-point line remains rather closed to both of these teams. Perkins rolls it up to Brock Cherry. The press is broken. Cherry got hit, lost it, and came back down. A lot going on that play.
A hectic play there. Good job from Cherry to keep his composure and come back down with the ball.
Lost possession and then regained it, so no traveling, no up and down violation. Perkins accelerates, great find to Roberts, and he will head to the line. Got whacked on the arm.
Good feed there from Perkins. He's had great vision as the point guard here tonight.
Roberts taking over the starting center role from DeAndre Smart after the first two games of the season. The redshirt freshman comes over from Clemson, and he's been solid at the line. Can't hit the first one. Might be my fault.
Announcer jinx notwithstanding, 10 for 16 on the season from the big man from the charity stripe.
And Roberts, who had looks from multiple D1 programs coming out of Clemson, he chose to stay in the state of South Carolina, went to a program he knew he was going to have an immediate impact upon, and he has immediately taken that role and ran with it. Have to give him credit and give credit to Mark Vanderslice for putting him in a role to succeed.
Yeah, he's done a great job, and Coach Vanderslice always likes to have that big presence in the middle. We saw that last year with Simeon German, and Jackson Roberts doing everything he can to fill that role as well.
The three is good. Evan Kilminster gets his first triple of the night. Kilminster, a guy they were looking to wake up a little bit after he was scoreless last game in the blowout win over Ferrum. Pocket picked and a big slam from Dominic Eason. Just like that, Beaufort's got some momentum. And a reach-in foul is called against Lucas Platowna, who just checked in.
Press starting to get to the Pacers a little bit there. Cam Perkins couldn't do anything with it.
DeAndre Smart, McCaskill Rivers came in at the timeout, and Eason immediately accelerated. The foul went against Platowna. It's his second. 3 team fouls on both sides. Rivers will get across midcourt and then find Harding. Extra pass to a cutting Cherry. There was so much body contact there. Hip to hip, blow for blow, no foul. We play on.
Yeah, these officials letting these two Peach Belt Conference rivals slug it out tonight for sure.
Kilminster to the cup, left it short with the left hand. Rashid couldn't secure it, but that's all right for the Sand Sharks as Eason could. Quick 5-0 run for Beaufort. There's Platowna, and he continues to stay cold from outside. Cherry, transition 3, long, rebound, put right back up. It was in the hands of Harding.
Harding, nice job cleaning the glass there. Came flying in for that easy putback and got the Pacers a little bit of momentum back after this flurry from the Sand Sharks.
Again, multiple defenders on one offensive player. Again, the referee furthest from the play makes the call. It will be a foul on the floor. Goes against Brock Cherry, who will check out along with Harding and Perkins. In come the starters, White, Bird, and Vassar. Platowna takes a seat as well. Hudson Norton back on. 6-point game, 13-15 to go. Rashid skies for the initial pass. Good battle between him and Bird so far today. A shuffle into the 3, nearly a travel from Norton, but he missed. That was Fitzgerald, rather. Bird had a good look at the cup. Instead, outside for Vassar. Vassar, no. Kilminster, baseline, foul. 5 fouls in 7 minutes after just 2 in 20 last half.
A lot of whistles here on this side of the floor. The Pacers losing their discipline a little bit on defense. And on the offensive end, you'd like to see Bird be a little bit more selfish on that play. He had an easy path to the basket there, opted for the pass to the outside instead. I'd like to see him go up with that shot. He can finish that easy.
Kilminster, the team's best free throw shooter, hits the first one. That's 3 on Trey White. He will stay in, but Shedlet Delva comes in for DeAndre Sharp. Seth Cullen back on for Beaufort. 2 for 2 at the line for Kilminster. Right back into the press. Haven't taken a single dead ball off. Pass knocked away, trying to keep it alive, and it will stay with Aiken. Vassar was having all kinds of trouble with Kilminster.
Yeah, a lot of pressure there from this Sand Shark defense in that back court. The Pacers able to fortunately get it across. Seems like the Pacers wanted a foul on that call. They won't get one. It'll just be inbound here from the side.
Kilminster brought a veteran presence to Ron Fudella's squad, third year as a program, and the fourth-year junior came over after 3 seasons with College of Charleston. Foul called. McCaskill Rivers able to pick up the contact, and it goes against Fitzgerald. Team's fourth, Fitzgerald's first. Aiken ball underneath. Pacers have been a little bit cold as of late. They're 1 of 7 in both their last 7 shots and their last 7 threes. A game of peaks and valleys. Nearly a takeaway for Price. Just poked it to the wrong spot. Rivers on the step through. Floats it in. McCaskill Rivers.
Nice job. A little bit of a runner there from Rivers, creating a little tiny bit of separation. That was all he needed to get the finish.
Continues to find a way to produce. Delva can't get the block, and it's laid in by Norton. Norton's got 6 coming off the bench. Double team in the corner, a scary spot to be in, but White finds Vassar, and the press is broken. Bird with the 3. Can't get it, but does get his own miss. Good hustle for Caleb Bird. Foul called, and that will send Bird on the floor.
Yeah, Bird, a wide open look there. Again, just couldn't quite get the finish. Good job, though, following his shot and forcing that foul to give the Pacers another crack at it.
Full media timeout on the floor and a nearly full slate of action across the Peach Belt Conference this evening. 11 teams in the conference, so somebody's always going to get a night off, and just about everybody on the same schedule. Columbus State facing Lander. Bearcats are up by 5 there. Meanwhile, Clayton State, who is looking for their first win of the season, they enter conference play 0-6, may have to wait a little bit longer, down 50-27 against Georgia College. They're out in Milledgeville. Flagler against Augusta University. That's a fun one right in the middle of the pack in the conference. And that was offense at a premium to a T. At halftime, the Jaguars leading Flagler 24-21 in 20 minutes. On the opposite side, Middle Georgia, first-year Peach Belt member, getting blown out by Georgia Southwestern as GSW is up 52-24 at the half. So only one team gets to be off, and that is North Georgia, who's a perfect 6-0.
Yeah, it's a competitive conference, one of the best basketball conferences you're going to find at this level. And North Georgia, of course, a perennial contender, along with the Pacers and Sand Sharks, the Jags of Augusta University as well. Just competitive up and down this conference, and the Pacers looking to make their mark and get a big win here to start us off.
Members of this conference saw a variety of different opponents across your non-conference. Now is when things get serious, but at the same time, 9 of 11 conference members in the Peach Belt have a winning record in the first night of conference play, including the 4-2 Pacers and the 6-1 Sand Sharks. Back to work we go. Trey White, 6 on the shot clock. Trying to spin past Rashid, had nowhere to go. Rivers for 3, in and out. And there is Eason. Boy, he gets up, doesn't he? Grabs that rebound. Nice spin move for Kilminster. His pass was shot skyward and knocked out of bounds by Rivers.
Substituting is number 5, Norton.
Norton back on for Ron Fudella's squad. This is a team that has had to get very accustomed to life on the road. Sand Sharks have not been at the Cove but once in their first 9 games. Not much to be said for being back at that recently renovated gymnasium. Price steps through. Cullen ran off the line by Delva and takes the free 2.
Great job there by Cullen, getting the big man up in the air and then just ran right around him for the easy finish at the cup. Cuts the lead to 2.
2-point game Pacers need to break into. They've gotten much more successful at breaking the press as of late. Full body release towards the line. Unable to get the two as Bird. Delva's got another offensive rebound. Pacers winning that battle, and a blocking foul is called as Delva bowls over Cullen looking for the foul.
Yeah, good job by the big man down on the low block, getting that rebound.
There are not many men against whom Seth Cullen cannot stand up at an imposing 6'6", 215, but the 6'10", 230 frame of Delva can make many a man quiver in their boots.
Delva, physical defender down low, and he's got a good post presence as well, showing you why right there.
That is the 4th on Cullen and 6th on Beaufort. So next one will result in shots. Meanwhile, Cullen is of course subbed out for Ish Rashid. Josiah Harding in for Vanderslice's Pacers. He replaces Vassar. 51-49 ball game, less than halfway through a much slower paced second half. A lot more stoppages due to whistles this time. 11 fouls in 9.5 minutes. Bird, mid-range, everywhere but in. And the Sharks have a chance to take a lead for the first time since there were 3 minutes left in the first half. Shooting for the lead, Norton, good. And the Sharks are back up.
And a big-time run here from the Sand Sharks. And they've got the lead back. And the timeout taken by the Pacers, and it's about time for that. It's been a quick run here for the Sand Sharks to get this lead back. The Pacers need to settle themselves back in a little bit here.
For a third-year program, this Sand Shark offense has shown depth that you just don't see all that frequently at this level. It's been very impressive what Ron Fudella's squad has been able to put together.
Yeah, they move the ball well in transition. They don't turn it over a lot, and they hit their shots. It's an uncharacteristic night from the three-point line for them tonight, but it's just an offense that you can't afford to let get hot, and they're starting to warm up here in this second half.
Norton and Fitzgerald have 22 points off the bench combined. They're able to just score seemingly at will when they get hot. And that's what really makes this Sharks team tough. There's 16 players, and if anybody's healthy, you feel like they can give you something meaningful.
Yeah, and the Pacers just need to find a way to settle themselves back in. They had found a groove, and then unfortunately the Sand Sharks, well, maybe fortunately depending on your point of view, but the Sand Sharks were able to start getting that press a little bit more active on defense, start forcing a little bit more turnovers, get the Pacers out of rhythm, and take advantage on their end. So the Pacers just got to find a way to settle themselves back down here and get back to playing their game.
Starting to feel eerily similar to Saturday's contest against Fayetteville State. Let's see what the veteran coach Mark Vanderslice has learned from that one. He'll use every millisecond of the timeout before sending his 5 back onto the hardwood. It will be Jonah Lawrence back into inbound, and it is a full-fledged press for Beaufort on the set piece. Got to get something in, and right at the nick of time, they do to Harding. Lawrence accelerates back to Cam Perkins. Aiken taking their time, setting things up on the offensive front. Perkins accelerates, and he got fouled. It was not in the act of shooting, but it will be a 1-and-1 for the sophomore guard out of Warner Robins.
And Pacers would like to see Jonah Lawrence heat up here. He got off to a fast and furious start with 10 quick points. It's been a little bit of a slow going ever since then, just 2 here in this second half.
Jackson Roberts will come in for Sedlet Delva. Meanwhile, Ron Fudella and Luke Dyer, the head coach and top assistant, were barking out orders from the sidelines. It didn't much matter because Perkins hit the front end of the free throw. He's now 2 of 3 at the line. And again, does not hit the back half. But the fact remains that Aiken, now in a tie game, is shooting free throws for the next 9:40. Norton looking to stay hot from outside, and that's exactly what he does.
Pacers have sagged off him twice on the three-point line, and he's made him pay for it twice.
Pocket picked. Lawrence ran before he caught. It turns into easy defense to offense, and who else but Norton?
That's a brutal stretch right there for the Pacers. Wide open 3 from Norton.
And another turnover for Jonah Lawrence, the freshman, showing his inexperience perhaps. Easton will go to the line, and Aiken has a momentary implosion, and all of a sudden Beaufort is steamrolling.
And these Sand Sharks, like we've mentioned throughout this contest, if you give them an inch, they will take a mile, and that's what you're watching right now. The Pacers just with 2 momentary lapses in judgment, and suddenly it's a chance for a 7-point lead for the Sand Sharks.
Lawrence, a team-high 4 turnovers. It's 2 shots for Eason. He's 1 of 2 at the line, make it 2 of 3. And White is going to come in to replace Harding. Not very often you see Cam Perkins and Trey White on the court simultaneously. Eason can't hit the back half. Lots of hand fighting on the way up. Bird able to win the ball and get it past midcourt before dropping off to Trey White. Still a 2-possession game, and a second half dominated by fouls and an interior presence for both teams. Save for Norton, who's come alive from deep. Lawrence trapped by Eason. White, an open 3. Hits it.
Right on time, just what the doctor ordered for the Pacers there from Trey White to cut this lead to 3.
Snaps an 0 for 5 from the field that White was on. Kilminster tried to sell for a foul. Not a soul in the gym was fooled. And he brings it back up to the logo. Good find down low, but it was poked away. Couldn't handle it. In transition, slow down, mid-range, no good. A little bit of a rush shot from White.
Got to slow it down a little bit more there. White is not on schedule with that shot.
Had a glimpse of Cam Perkins in the opposite corner. That lane closed quickly, and then White just pulled it himself. Eason throws the head up, and this time it's enough contact to warrant a foul.
And that puts the Sand Sharks in the bonus for the remainder of the contest.
1-1 coming on the opposite side of the media timeout. The Beaufort Sand Sharks on a 24-16 run to start off the second. More and more these days, sequels have a tendency to rehash what they've seen in their predecessors, and in Game 2 of tonight's doubleheader, that's exactly what we've got. USC Aiken, just as we saw in the women's game, out to an early lead, leading at halftime, but the Sand Sharks of Beaufort steamrolling in the second half and taking a late lead. First shot of the 1-1 goes down by way of Dominic Eason, and he now has 14, tied for the game high.
And the number that stands out to me on the stat sheet is 20. That's 20%. 2 of 10 from the three-point line are the Pacers in this second half. They're going to have to get hot from that spot if they want to get back into this game.
It's tough enough to win any game in this conference. It's even tougher when you're doing that from deep. Norton got away with a grab of the jersey of Bird. Play continues. Lawrence bowls in, blocking foul, and one. All in one motion. And Bird bullies his way to the line.
Jonah Lawrence with a nice finish there, getting through the contact to get the kiss off the glass.
Lawrence lowering the shoulder. Kilminster tried to get set. He could not quite get there, and that is his fourth. So he joins Cullen, being one away from the maximum.
And with 7:40 left, I think we're going to have a review here.
That does appear to be where we are, and that is a big, big call. See what the plan is.
Just checking who that foul was on here. And again, when you're talking about a guy who could be getting his fourth, you just want to make sure you've got it right.
Always good to check. And TJ Knight, the head assistant for the Pacers, confirming exactly what the review is. Believe referee just said we're good. It's 11, so it will stay on Kilminster.
And as you mentioned, Kilminster with 11. Or with 4, excuse me, number 11.
Jonah Lawrence to complete the three-point play.
Kilminster and Cullen, two key pieces, two starters in this lineup that are both now at 4.
Kilminster, the fourth leading scorer for this Sand Sharks squad. So
3 points the old-fashioned way. Lawrence hits it, makes it look rather easy at that. He's got a game-high 15. And Aiden Fitzgerald will replace Evan Kilminster. Fitzgerald will be asked to do a bit more heavy lifting down the stretch, it appears.
Pacers with a press of their own here, and it's going to pay off.
Caught the Sharks by surprise. Perkins for the lead. No. Offensive rebound again. Lawrence right back up. He got hit on the way up. And the Sand Sharks are screaming their disagreement.
Most of the defense on that play was played by Jackson Roberts. Lawrence had to go up over his own man to get that shot down, but he was hit on the arm on the way up.
It's Ish Rashid with his first personal. It's the team's 9th. So from here on out, it's the double bonus. And this was in the act of shooting, so it is 2 for Jonah Lawrence. A rare miss from him on the front end. Lawrence entered the day 81% from the line, the best on the team. Neither team above 30% from deep, so the line is going to play a huge factor down the stretch. Hits the second half. We are tied at 59 with 7:20 to play. The drive from Norton, all alone Rashid, and he spins it in.
Pacers have had a little bit of trouble there. They've been kind of coming unglued at the three-point line, losing track of their assignments defensively. And the Sand Sharks this half have been making them pay for it.
Certainly not going to stop either of these offenses every time down the floor, but it always breaks a coach's heart to see a look that easy anywhere on the court. Shot clock's at 6. Stutter step from White, puts up the deep 2, airballs it. Long pass ahead to Kevon Price. He lowers the shoulder, and we have a blocking foul. Perkins asking what else he has to do. Both sides have now been unhappy with the lack of charges called in the second half.
Yeah, Perkins whistled for the block there. Looked clean to me, but the officials will always have a better view of it than I will. But possibly a shuffle of the feet.
So 1-1 for Kevon Price. Price is 1 of 2 at the line. And it is an over-the-back foul on Hudson Norton. That's his third. He just went up and over his blocker, swatted it back to the logo.
He's lucky he didn't get hurt there. Heavy thud on the ground as he came back down. He's up and good, but that sounded nasty.
That's insult to injury to get called for the foul and then put yourself in a dangerous situation. Nothing about that advantageous for the fourth-year junior. Jonah Lawrence will shoot 2. Double bonus comes into play. Beaufort still at the 1-1, at least with one more foul to give in that regard. Lawrence nets the first one. Free throws were a bit of an issue and a bit of a deciding factor in that loss against Fayetteville State on Saturday. Team went 14 of 22 from the line, just under 70% on the season. They are shooting less than 70%. And that was something that even before the first game of the season, Mark Vanderslice was saying needed to improve. And at least in Lawrence's case, it has. Delva and Harding in for Perkins and Roberts, 62-61, a little over 6 to play. Eason gets a full head of steam and gets denied by Delva.
Great defensive rotation there by Delva to reject that shot at the rim.
Pacers looking for the lead. It is lobbed up through contact, no good. Bird begging for a foul, can't get it. Rashid is ran off the line, as is Fitzgerald. He bowls his way in, and it is a charge called on the Sharks.
Gonna say he led with the elbow.
Hands on head, surrender Cobras abound for the Sand Sharks. Coach Videla can't believe it. Fitzgerald can't believe it. That's his second. And a costly turnover for the junior. Another opportunity for the Pacers to reclaim the lead. Bird nearly had his pocket picked. It is a reach-in foul called, and the frustration is mounting for Beaufort. Meanwhile, Fitzgerald is limping towards the bench. He's been called for 2 fouls in 15 seconds. He is holding his right knee. And that will be 2 shots for Caleb Bird. No good on the first one.
Bird, a 73% free throw shooter on the season. That's one you got to have if you're the Pacers.
Evan Kilminster is the man that came back in. He's got 4 himself. Bird gets the second one. He's got 13 and 10. Second double-double of the year and second in 3 games. High pass, got past Norton, but to Rashid. Rashid lost it, gave it away. Tie game, 5:20 to play, and Trey White will slow things down.
Smart play by White there. Didn't really have a play if he was going to keep that transition movement going.
McCaskill Rivers, who just came in, dishes it off to White. A nice stutter step. Harding, step back, hand in his face. No, Rivers the putback. He's headed to the line.
Great job by Rivers flying in to get that putback attempt to draw the contact, get himself to the line. Really nice ball movement on that possession for the Pacers. A couple of nice moves, dribble moves there by Trey White to create open looks for his teammates.
McCaskill Rivers, 1 of 2 at the stripe tonight, 50% on the season. And if you're Ron Fudella and the Sand Shark staff, you're running low on guys that aren't in foul trouble. 4 for Kilminster and Cullen, 3 apiece for Price, Norton, and Fitzgerald. First one good for Rivers, and the Pacers are back in front.
And that foul differential in the first half starting to rear its ugly head here for the Sand Sharks. It's been pretty even here in the second half, but 7-3 the disparity there in the first. And that's why you're seeing so many Sand Sharks having to, control themselves a little bit more defensively because those foul totals are mounting up.
Pacers more chances at the line, 17 compared to 11 for Beaufort. Eason a step back 3. He left it short. It might have been deflected. It was definitely an air ball, and it is out on Beaufort. Crowd coming to life, bench spurring it on, and with all 4s on the game clock, the Pacers lead by 2. Breaking the press, going to be paramount down the stretch. White able to redirect and get across the line. Quick trap taken away. Foul call.
White had a chance to push that forward to McCaskill Rivers, just couldn't quite see him. The defense was in the way there, but great job by the Sand Sharks not giving up that pressure. They started on the other side and followed him right across half court and trapped him immediately.
And now foul trouble an issue on the other side. Trey White and Cam Perkins both have 4. Those are your 2-point guards. But Rashid couldn't hit the front half of the game's final 1-1. No chance for Beaufort to tie. It will be White who stays on for the moment. You wonder who the third ball handler would be if necessary. A heck of a game to open up conference play here at the Convocation Center, and it's an offensive foul on Shedlet Delva.
It's an unfortunate mistake made there by Delva, the big man. You got to be a little bit more. You got to be a little bit more careful.
Offensive foul, a turnover. Beaufort ball in front of the Pacer bench. In comes Perkins, out goes White. Kick into the corner for the lead, Norton. No. Offensive board, Rashid puts it up. He can't hit either. Harding screaming in transition. And the Pacers slow down wisely. A heart-pounding finale inbound in Aiken. Back to Perkins, 10 on the shot clock. Went behind the back, heavy angle, can't get the roll. Delva's got the board, lost it on the way up. Rivers fighting for it, and he's headed back to the line.
That's a great job there by McCaskill Rivers, backing up his big man, who did a great job to bring that rebound down, did Shedlet Delva, but got surrounded immediately. Rivers there to back him up, got the putback attempt, and he'll head to the line for 2.
Delva gets his 5th rebound, 3rd offensive. One last media timeout. Catch your breath. We'll do the same. Heading down to a good one between Aiken and Beaufort. McCaskill Rivers at the line for 2. 3:28 to play in this ball game. Noah Adcock out with Jordan Phillips with you. Alexis Hill and Brian Bashar are producers upstairs, making everything work. And Rivers, who was 2 for 2 at the line his last trip, gets a chance to double the lead. Starts off on a good foot. Dead silent in the gym as Rivers hits it. He's made 5 of 6 from the line tonight. And the productive performance from the charity stripe is a key catalyst for this 4-point lead. Extra passes all alone. Eason in and out. He can't hit from deep. It was last touched by Beaufort. And Dominic Eason had a clean look, but he is now 1 for 6 from outside.
The Sand Sharks going cold offensively at an inopportune time for them. They've had looks, just haven't quite been able to get the finish.
Easy break. Out for blood. Harding was looking for somebody to posterize. Instead, he'll go to the line for 2.
Foul was on number 5, Hudson Norton, and that's his 4th.
That's the 4th on Norton. He is the 3rd different Sand Sharks player to pick up 4. That was a big miss for Eason. He's not a guy that's really suffered through a sophomore slump in the early goings, but one thing that has taken a step back has been his work from outside. 43% last year. His performance today has him under 30. Meanwhile, Harding hits the first one. and he's got 8 points in the game.
Yes, tough sledding there from Easton from the three-point line. He's getting it done in other ways, but just has not had that same stroke from three-point land this season.
Harding rims out, and it was knocked off of Rashid. Heads-up play from Caleb Bird.
Bird, the leader on this team, one of the seniors along with Chedlet Delva, and he just makes a great play there defensively and then makes it possible for the Pacers to try and get a second bite at the apple here.
Contributors up and down the roster for both sides tonight. Pacers by 5. Bird got a man in the air, couldn't quite finish. Rivers another offensive board, no. There's Harding, back up, still can't go. How many chances are they gonna get?
Great rebounding by the Pacers there, just couldn't get a finish.
Rashid was ran off the line. Price drives into triple coverage, and a foul is called. Kevon Price was in trouble, and instead he'll go to the line.
A lot of hands in there, flailing around for the ball, and it bites the Pacers.
These two teams will get another crack at each other on January 24th. That's a Saturday. It will be at the compact, loud Cove Gymnasium on the campus of Beaufort. 100 miles separate these two foes, and they play down to the wire time and again. Roberts for Delva as Price hits the first one.
Yeah, when the two USC satellites in the Peach Belt Conference are squaring off in hoops, you know it's going to be a good one, and this one is no different.
Haven't seen Cullen for a while, but Seth Cullen comes in. He's got 5 points and 4 fouls in 17 minutes. Price 2 for 2, 7 points on the night. One possession game. Press continues to be a factor. Rivers able to double back to Perkins, and he breaks. 2.5 to go. Great find down low, and the emphatic jam from Josiah Harding.
Beautiful backdoor cut by Harding right there. Knifed his way to the rim, and Rivers with a beautiful feed to find him in motion.
Bit of a quiet night for Deep, but Josiah has still found his way into double figures. He's got 10 with 5 boards. Mid-range, Eason, yes, gets the 2 points back, and timeout is called by the Sand Sharks. Beaufort uses that timeout. It's the first one utilized by Fidela and company. Of the half, at least, they've got 2 remaining in totality. And we mentioned that the Sharks have been road warriors. One of their first 9 games, 2 of their first 13 at home, the rest away from home. They will finally wrap up this 6-game road trip Saturday afternoon at Lander against the Bearcats. Meanwhile, the Pacers will head for the start of a 2-game road trip. They'll go down to Cochran, Georgia, and see the newest Peach Belt team, Middle Georgia College.
And on the Sand Sharks, not getting things started off on the easy foot no matter what here in the early part of the Peach Belt Conference slate. Taking on 2 of the perennial contenders in the Pacers and Lander Bearcats. So it's been tough sledding for them to start the season, but they've been able to meet the challenge thus far, standing at 6-1, and the Pacers hope to make that 1 a 2 by the end of the night.
Beaufort's only loss was to then number 8 in the country, Alabama Huntsville, and they got ran out of the gym 100-66. 70 has usually been the number for Beaufort. When they get there, they tend to win. Down 69-66 here with under 2 to play, and Cam Perkins in possession. It rolls back to Rivers, a great cut down low, laid in Bird.
And Rivers on just another beautiful backdoor feed.
Roberts with the block on the other end. He denies the smaller Norton. Bird brings it back up top, and they will let that clock drip down. Beaufort tried to catch the back line napping. Jackson Roberts would have none of it. Got to go now, 5 on the clock. Bird for 3, a little bit short. Another offensive board for McCaskill Rivers.
Rivers has been such a dominant force on the boards tonight for the Pacers, especially on this end of the floor.
11.7 boards. 5 of those boards have been offensive for the former Milligan Buffalo. Clock's at 2. Bird puts it up. It got deflected, and it is short.
A long possession there for the Pacers. Couldn't come away with any points, but you bled a lot of clock. That's the benefit here.
Nearly 50 seconds of game time come off the clock. There's 48.4 on the board. Aiden Fitzgerald in for Kevon Price. Adding a little bit of extra shooting touch. Kilminster accelerates, good stutter step, well played by Evan Kilminster, and an immediate timeout.
Yeah, very nice drive there by Kilminster to get his man in transition. Got him up in the air and an easy finish there at the rack. Nice job there and a quick score as well.
Kilminster's got 7, 3 players in double figures for Beaufort. Eason with 16, Norton with 14. Fitzgerald had 13 in the first half. He has been held scoreless in the second. On the opposite side, the same number for the Pacers. Jonah Lawrence leading everybody with 18, and he has tied his career high in his freshman season. Meanwhile, Bird's got 15 and 10, and Harding has got 10 and 5.
That bucket crucial for another reason here now. With 12 seconds separating the shot and game clock, the Sand Sharks don't have to foul here. They can try and get a stop to give themselves a chance to tie it.
12.7 between shot clock and game clock. And with Ron Fudella's press in play, there is no such thing as an easy advancement. Jonah Lawrence will come in for McCaskill Rivers for the moment, and he will inbound. Nearly an errant pass. Couple dangerous ticks, but well broken. And a reach-in foul called, an early whistle. Rashid with his third, and it will give 2 more shots to the free throw happy Pacers.
Well, I say they don't have to foul. They do, and it might have been inadvertently, but it'll send Lawrence to the line.
Lawrence 4 of 5 at the stripe today. Making 1 would give him a new career high. And he'll have to wait.
Got to have one of these here if you're the Pacers.
Kilminster and Fitzgerald back in. Price and Cullen out. Sedlet Delva is going to come in for Jackson Roberts, but he will not be down low for any rebound. It's more about the defensive board on the opposite side. That is a monumental free throw. Lawrence makes it, gets replaced by Rivers.
Got to stick to the three-point line here if you're the Pacers. Can't bleed off your man, give him an open look. Got to make sure you stay in front of your guys, no easy shots.
Here goes Kilminster, the Aussie full tilt, and it is a goaltending call on Sedlet Delva. Now that was not going in, but it is still a goaltending, and it is now a 2-point game. A very quick 2 points as well. And the defensive changes come for Beaufort, the offensive changes for the Pacers. Roberts in for Delva. On the opposite side, it's Price, it's Cullen.
I think you might see a review here, and that's exactly what's going to happen. They're going to review to see if that ball was coming down. It was close. I know that. I'm not sure how close it was, but from my view, it did look like a goaltending, but it was close.
Beaufort has outscored Aiken 36-33 in this second half, in large part due to the fact that the Pacers are 2 of 13 from deep. They are 1 of their last 11. But they have still, by a combination of defense, offensive rebounding, and free throws, found themselves with a minuscule advantage and time on the clock.
Yeah, the Pacers have done a good job. They've gotten off-ball movement, guys cutting to the basket, and while they have not been having their shots fall from outside, they have been hitting their shots at the free throw line, and they have been getting their shots to fall when they were at the rim. So turning away from the three-point line a little bit more to the interior game, and that's been an advantage for them here in this second half. Meanwhile, it's sort of the opposite tale for the Sand Sharks, who have kind of come alive from behind the arc here in this second half.
They are 33% from deep in the second. They have been much more selective with the extent to which they shoot them. 12 compared to 22 in the first half. We've seen an aggressive interior presence, especially from folks like Rashid and Eason. And now you just have to get across, and free throws need to be made.
Still got to see what this ruling is here from the officials. It's taking a long look at it.
And given both the close nature of the call, at least to the naked eye, and the consequence of the call's result, means a lot. They're done talking. See which way we go.
Upon further review, the goaltending call was upheld.
And the call upheld. So it'll be Pacer basketball with a 2-point advantage here. 32.3 seconds left on the clock.
That also counts as a Aiken timeout. And that could be meaningful down the stretch. Jonah Lawrence trying to break, double covered, lots of defense, low pass, Trey White gave it up. Price had his pocket picked. White on the other end, lays it in, 4-point game.
Hectic sequence of events there.
The turnover, the get back, it was Lawrence with the steal, and White through contact gets his biggest bucket of the day.
Yeah, I want to give special attention to that. Jonah Lawrence, great job by him staying in the play, staying connected to it, watching. The ball came loose, and he was right there to pounce on it. Great job by the true freshman.
Freshman out of Charlotte, All-State at Providence Day. That is a basketball powerhouse. He's got the bloodlines, he's got the pedigree, and the immediate impact he has had in every facet of the game. In the portal era, you have to hit on freshmen year after year, and that's what Mark Vanderslice appears to have done with this kid.
Yeah, and Jonah Lawrence, again, has been just such an impact player for the Pacers this season. Started every game, and you see why here. And a second leading scorer on the team came into tonight averaging 11 per game, and he's just been such a revelation on both ends of the floor for the Pacers. He's got 19 tonight, and the Pacers just would not be in this game right now if it weren't for the contributions he's made both on offense and defense.
19 points, 4 rebounds, 6 assists, and 3 steals to go with it. After a couple early turnovers, cost the freshman some tough possessions in the first half. He has cleaned up, and he has bought in fully in the second.
Still a long 12.5 seconds left to go here in this one. Just a 4-point lead. It is a 2-possession game, but these Sand Sharks can score quick and in a hurry.
They are going to have to do exactly that here. Kilminster to inbound, 12.5 to go. Gets into Price. He's been the ball handler so far. Deep three. Eason wide left. Knocked back into play. Step back. It's Eason running out of time. He hits with 0.4 of a second to go. Just have to get it in. That's what the Pacers do. And Aiken holds on for a huge home victory.
Cannot be understated how important it is to get started off in the conference slate on the right foot. You not only do that with a win here, you beat the team projected to finish first and a team that you've had battle after battle with in these USC Beaufort Sand Sharks, and this one was no different. What a classic this one was.
74-73 is your final. Jonah Lawrence with a career-high 19, an all-around impactful evening. And 1 through 11, every man that touched the floor for the home side found a way to make this victory possible.
Yeah, little things on defense, little things on offense, guys cutting to the basket, guys making sure they made their rotations defensively, little things by Chedlet Delva getting big blocks, Jonah Lawrence with big-time steals every now and again. Just a great, complete team effort here for the Pacers tonight to get the win started in conference play.
Dominic Eason ended with 19, tied Lawrence for the game high, but the Sharks dropped just their second contest of the year. They are 6-2, but the most important number there, they are now 0-1 in Peach Belt play. They'll get a chance to get their redemption January 24th at home, but for now they head out to Lander Saturday afternoon for a date with the now 6-1 Bearcats. Aikens 5-2. They open Peach Belt play with a win, and they'll look to stay hot in Cochran as they take on the Knights of Middle Georgia. They've got the black and purple coming up in a rare look at a newfound foe.
Yeah, it's very rare you see a new team coming into the conference. Middle Georgia, the Pacers looking to make their presence known here. Again, this team picked third to finish in the conference at the start of the season, and they want to give Middle Georgia, a fun welcome to conference play on Saturday.
Back-to-back road games. That next home one 2 weeks from now will be a thriller. The undefeated North Georgia Nighthawks come to town in a doubleheader, 5:30 and 7:30, women, then the men, here on the Peach Belt Sports Network. That'll do it for us tonight. For Alexis Hill, Brian Bouchard, and my partner Jordan Phillips, I've been Noah Adcock-Howarth. Another fun one here at the Convocation Center, and the Pacers come out on top.